Hey, all you YouTubers, I wanted to wish you to another episode of Passin Gas Garage. I want you to get some of that on this one. Um, Definitely, we're going to do something that I've shown on other videos that gets on my nerves. It is those hood and trunk shocks that just lose power after a while. It's something you got to constantly replace. Again, I think it's a bad design for whatever reason they choose to go with it. It's a softer opening and closing, maybe. You know, the older cars, it was springs. Maybe they're lighter, but they just seem to go bad after a while on every car. I don't care what it is. And some are easier to change than others. I have a couple that I'm going to show you that on a new car that, a new car to me, we'll say, newer car. That it will, when the car is hot, it's in the engine compartment, they will stay up. So I guess it charges that gas just to heat maybe a little bit more, but it'll stay up. And as it cools down, it just slowly drops down and basically closes. So it's just irritating. They're not super expensive. And again, I've talked about it on other videos. You really want to go with the factory replacement, what the poundage is. I say poundage, but most of them are they're rated in like Newton meters is what it is. So you know, it's just going up some poundage, you know, something maybe a little bit, but I don't recommend it. You know, depending on what some of these hoods are made out of, either aluminum, which it could bend the corners of the hood or bend where the fittings are. You know, the hoods are made of different things, and the trunks for that matter. So I just probably don't recommend it. You know, it's easier just to bite the bullet and replace them every so often. You know, they engineered it, and it's just a certain flex that there is, and you risk damaging a more expensive component than replacing a $25 gas charge shock. Some of course are more expensive, but you know, they're not super expensive. So here is, as we like to say, the patient. Boom. Oh, we got her covered up. So it is a rag top, and I got the top down. It's got a little, as my wife likes to say, a nice little koozie on it, and it's a little koozie, little coat. Just keeping it clean, keeps dust off it, that type of thing. But we will then take everything off of it, and I'll open up the engine compartment lid and show you where the shocks are, and then we'll go about starting to change them. All right. So as I said, this rear compartment is where the engine is. Generates a lot of heat. It is currently up. It's not locked. I had unlocked it. But as you can see it, as you push it up, which it's just, and it's a beautiful engine in it, really is clean. This is just a very, very clean example. This is a 98 F355 Ferrari Rosso Corso red, which is, of course, people say Ferrari red, and tan interior, which is, you know, needless to say, very classic colors on it, and it was what was available, and just really like it. So it is, you know, it's a 3.5 liter V8, 5 valves per cylinder, and we'll do something on that in the future. But if you look under here, let me get a little light on the subject so we can, and of course, you can see that just comes right back down. So let's see if we can't get a little more light. So I got it up. I got it resting on the top of my head, which, see, interesting. That's what happens when you have a big head. But anyways, you can kind of see, I'll put that light down. Here is where my finger is pointing. That's one of the shocks. See, it bolts to the top of it there, and it actually bolts down there. The other one is in this corner over there, right there. So they're available, they're there. I believe I have the right ones that were purchased. But we'll find out, right? So there's a little bit more light. So it's not terribly bad situation there or anything like that, but you know, it's always harder than it looks. You know, when they look easy, they're not. So what I'll do is I'll take off one side first and replace it, and I'll put on the new shock. And once I do that, I will, it might be enough to hold up the hood, although, you know, you're better off replacing them in pairs. You know, you don't want it to be torqued sideways or anything like that when it opens. It's very light, this hood also. It's, I don't know whether it's carbon fiber or fiberglass, but it's not, I don't know, it's light, no doubt about it. So, without further ado, I'm going to start to remove, I think, oops, that shock right there. And you can kind of see, maybe a little bit better there. Oh, that would be nice, Mark, to not drop the light. But once you look at this, maybe not. Sorry about that, guys. So there's the top attachment. And there's the bottom, you can see by my finger. So those are fairly accessible. So I think I'm going to change that one first. I'll look at the part number when I pull it out, and we'll see what the deal is. And a lot of times they feel like they're working, but they just lose a little bit of their strength, like everybody does as you get older. But that's another story. So what we'll do is we'll start pulling that off, and when I get it off, we'll look at the part numbers and see what I bought and see if we have the right shot. All right. So I wanted to go over a little bit of preparation, you know, for doing this type of work. You know, I always want to protect the paint finish, and I've got these kind of, they're rubberized, really soft. You know, you'll lay over it so your belt buckle or your pants don't scrape your paint, that type of thing. And I've got a couple of them. Hey, that would be a good birthday present, which just passed in March. So anyways, sure, an unexpected present to me would be very nice. Very soft ones are nice, though. You know, this is very soft. Put some towels over there. I looked at the bolts over there, and you know, in most of the foreign cars, what you're going to find is that everything's either 10 millimeter or 12 or 13 millimeter. 12 and 13 millimeter are equivalent to a 1/2 inch and 9/16. Just to give you an idea, I mean, those three sockets, you could probably take apart 95% of the entire car. Just what they use. And you know, on an American car, typically, like I said, 1/2 inch and 9/16, and it'll all come apart. So I'm going to try and set this up and show you a little bit more of how this one comes off. So hopefully we can get a nice vantage point for you. I think that might work. And again, I like using, if you see this, I like using some 1/4 inch, you know, drive sockets. This is a newer one that I bought. It's a Craftsman. You know, they sell it in Lowe's. I had one that broke. It was an older one, 25 years old, and they took it back and just exchanged it. It's lifetime stuff on Craftsman. Made here in America still. I think sometimes it could possibly be made in Taiwan, but it's not Henshu in China. So you know, you're getting good quality stuff for homeowner or part-time mechanic. You know, the professional mechanics, they're using a little bit different stuff, definitely more expensive. But these are good quality stuff, and newer. You know, it's just definitely nice mechanism in it, as you can hear. So let's see what happens here. So I got two bolts. Is one easier to do than the other? I don't know. Let's just see what the deal is here. I can put this light here. I can maybe get a little better vision of what's going on. I could certainly pull this off right here. And oh, actually, I don't need to do that. So as I said in some other videos, this is a snap one right here. So dumb Mark, didn't need to be doing that. So actually what I need is a flat bladed screwdriver, and I can pop that and that should come right off the end. So let's let's get a flat-bladed screwdriver. Sorry for the, but that's what happens in these type of things. You see something like that and you move forward. I think I will get a tiny little one. A little bit more. My garage is a mess, of course. Too many tools, too small a box. So really on these, I've shown it in another video, there's a metal clip right here that clips on. So you'll pull it out, like pry it out right here, and then it'll just pop right off the stud. So I didn't need to do that, so bad mark. But you know, you get an idea of what the hell. And I just knocked my camera over for you guys. So you get an idea of what, you know, what happens. And I've done this before, so I should know, right? But I just couldn't see this clip real well. So here it is. You can see me prying at it. So you can kind of see now, maybe let me get an idea there. You can kind of get an idea that I've pulled this away, and that might be enough to pull it off of the stud. Now I might have to relieve. There it goes. So that just pulled it right off. Now, needless to say, this is not the way I should be doing this. Really, I need something to really hold this up a little bit better. Probably shouldn't do that. Because it definitely wants to come down now. So this shot feels pretty good. But obviously it's not. Maybe I should have done the bottom one, I don't know. But that's the stud that it probably just loosened the hair, so I might re-tighten that up a little bit. So now what I will do is, I probably could, Mark wasn't thinking as good about a little bit of this. That's what he wasn't doing. Let me see if I can't find something to hold this hood up a little bit better. So I found some stuff in the garage to prop that hood open. Should be okay. I don't look like it's scratching or damaging anything. All right, so back to work. Of course, we had a Nordstrom, or I should say a FedEx guy come, and I heard the truck out there. Of course, it was nothing for me. It said Nordstrom on the bag, which we know wasn't for me. I am looking at the other basic shocks that I bought, and it looks like they're a different style. They look like they're a lot smaller, so they're not the correct ones for this. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe I'll take these off and I'll see what the part number is on them, even though I can go on some websites and of course, you know, look it up. Not a big deal, but they snap on and off pretty easily, except for, of course, getting to this bottom snap, right? So I think I'll use a longer screwdriver here. And then I'll take a picture of it. Is my plan of action. I'll put this up here so I can just see it a little bit better. It's always nice to be able to see everything, right? That you're doing. And I just got this one. Of course, this bigger screwdriver that doesn't get underneath this clip as easily. So I don't know. I could take a picture of it, I guess. Try to take a picture of it. But I don't know. I'll try to get this little one in there again. I bought these shocks a while ago, and it said they fit multiple cars, we'll say. And it was obviously, I don't believe that they are the correct ones for this. And of course, struggling a little bit to get this one clip off. I just find that there it is. Alright, so that was it. So again, you just got to pull it off, as you see. So when I look at this now, I can see the numbers on it. Some part numbers. If you see this one right here, right below my thumb, above it, it says 0,400, and I believe that's the poundage, 400 Newton meters. So Liftomat is who makes it. It's a very, I don't want to say standardized one, but, and you can look at it. Probably the date code on it right here. If I was guessing, maybe 229 of 04. So they're older. Definitely need to be redone. So let's take a picture or two, which I guess I just did, right, on the YouTube video. And we'll have to regroup. I can compare them. You know, obviously the one, you can just look at it and tell that it's a different model, a lot smaller. It's actually, it probably will fit. When I look at the strength of it, it's the same, 400. And it is made by Stabilis, Liftomat. So it's really the length of it. So if I look at the length of it, you know, it does look a little bit shorter to me than you know, when I look at the overall length of where it would connect to. So that's one connection on the bottom, you know, and this is the top. You can see it's a little bit shorter. So it's just not the same length. And that is important. So 752, 711. And obviously this is not... Actually, that 229, maybe that's the 229th day of 04 that it was made, because I'm looking at this, looking at the new shock. A little light on you. And when you look at the new shock, you can see it says 193/21. So I believe that that was made the 193rd day of 2021. Again, you can see the 0,400. So it is the same strength. It would probably work. It's just a little bit shorter. So I hate to, I mean, I could put it on and then order some new ones, but I just, you know, I think I'd rather order the correct ones. Here's a picture of what it looks like now. So when you look at what we got going on in here, get a little light for you. So when you look at it and you look down low, right where you can see the right here where where the bolt was attached down the bottom, one is done. Then of course up top here, you know, right here, basically is where the top portion went to. Hope I'm not messing you up here. But down there you can see the bottom one where it attached to get this done. So I think I'm going to pause in it, put the other old one back on, and kind of go from there, because I'm going to look for that exact same one. I just feel like it's a little bit longer, and that's important. So we will get you some of this a little bit later. All right.